Brian Kevin Porter Jr., born May 4th, 2000. In today's society, with everything going on, we have to be very careful with who we cast away, especially when the person without this opportunity wouldn't have much to dream for coming from the back of the line he's from. With that said, I will be respectful about how I speak about Porter Jr. and understand that he's still 20 years old. But come on, man. It's all I could say when hearing the recent news of his outbursts and allegedly throwing his lunch at GM and his boss Kobe Altman for moving his locker for a new player while he's still on the team. I couldn't believe that once again he was in the news for behavior issues, right or wrong. Was he wrong for being angry they moved his locker with probably his personal belongings without notifying him? No, he wasn't. I don't care who you are, what age you are, how long you've been gone, or what protocols are going on. That's disrespectful and unprofessional on Altman's and the Cavaliers' part. Like the saying goes, if you attack me first and miss, my response is up to me. On your way to the afterlife, just say you understand. Their first action was wrong, and no matter what Porter did after, it's understandable. Now, would I have responded like that? No, not the man I've become and in the position he's in, coming back from multiple issues that didn't allow him to play this season. But like I said, he's 20 years old and I'm not. I was reluctant to do this feature or speak on the decision to even take him in the first round because I hate to say, but I mean, who didn't see this coming? Multiple issues in college, physically and behaviorally, the youngest player in the draft when selected, 1 year in and already multiple off-court issues including arrest for felony handling of a firearm, which have been dropped, and underproduction in his lone college season that all made me scratch my head as to why the Cavs even reached to take him, knowing they didn't have the veteran leadership to shape a young mind like his. Let's talk about 3 stunts in Porter Jr.'s growth so far that may cost him his longevity going forward. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Ash, get it, man. Stunt number 1, Hothead. Quick reminder, the Patreon page is now lit. There, you can get ad-free Stunted Growth features, behind-the-scenes training videos, consulting, and one-on-one conversations with me. Become a patron now and show your support. When I reach 10 patrons, I'll be sending those 10 free hoodies from the merch store, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. Link is below. Enjoy the video. If I had to evaluate Porter Jr. from my experience with players and people that resemble his behaviors, I'd say that he has definite anger issues that if aren't corrected in the near future, he could see himself out of the league altogether after his rookie contract expires. Porter Jr. is a 6'4" small forward shooting guard from Seattle, Washington. At just 4 years old, his father was shot 5 times for trying to help a person being attacked and lost his life, and Kevin lost his father. Raised by his mother solely, this, as you know, can create issues within itself being a young male in America. He stuck to basketball as a way to deal with the loss and also to one day give his mother what she gave him, a chance at a better life. By his senior year at Rainier Beach High School, he averaged 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. He was named Mr. Basketball in the state of Washington and a 5-star recruit. It was around this time his name crossed my radar, and after studying him, I felt he was definitely talented, but on the court he was raw, which may present issues if taken in the draft young, which he was. He was also a natural that was so ahead of his time physically and the little tricks he knew at just 18. Again, thinking hopefully a veteran team gets him and he could be special. Then he got to college, choosing USC over top names like UCLA, Washington, and Oregon, becoming their first 5-star rated recruit since DeMar DeRozan. But Porter struggled to say the least on and off the floor at USC, dealing with a quad injury that forced him out of games and being suspended for conduct issues that forced even more time. When he did play, he looked like he needed at least another year, and that no way, one, he declares for the draft, and two, be taken in the first round. He averaged 9.8 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 turnovers, shooting 41% from 3 and 52% from the line. Clear second round to undrafted stats, but the Cavaliers took him with the final pick in the first round, and his issues continued. In his first season, besides missing 6 weeks to a knee injury, he was pretty solid, seeing as he had Sexton, Garland, Kevin Love all fighting for shots. He averaged 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. In the offseason is where he acquired a gun charge which was dropped, seeing as the gun was his mom's and she didn't tell him it was in the car and he was just using it. He also had a marijuana charge attached to it, which was also dropped. Then before the season, he pulled a Kyrie, or should I say Kyrie pulled a Porter, going AWOL for personal reasons and hadn't been around the team this season, causing the franchise to do what they did, which is still wrong. For Kevin's sake, he needs to check his issues and learn how to deal with his anger because he's almost 21, and at that time, things won't be so explainable. He's also on thin ice, not only with the team, but with the league. The Cavs have been trying to trade him all weekend and aren't able to find a taker, much to do with them seeing him as a hothead. Stunt number 2, on the clock. Another stunt that may cost Porter Jr. his longevity in the NBA is now he's put himself on the clock to produce sooner than he was expected to. No matter who's right in the situations that happened, he's shown the potential to be disruptive, and that's never a good sign from a young player. Something you'd rather not deal with as an organization. On top of that, his play wasn't stellar in his rookie season, although not terrible for the 30th pick either. He's shown he can score, but is very streaky at this point. He's also shown durability may be an issue dating back to his time at USC. And in Kyrie fashion, he's shown that you can't trust him right now to show up for games and be professional when situations like the one recently arise. He has to find his way on this team. He has to shoot better, take better care of the ball, and make better IQ decisions on a team that has no room for error. He's also an undersized small forward on a team with an already undersized backcourt. Going up against NBA threes is already an uphill battle for him, and I don't even think he's a small forward. I think his natural position should be shooting guard, but anyway, correcting those issues has to be top of his list. Stunt number 3, guidance. The final stunt in Kevin's growth is him obviously not having the right people around him to guide his young mind in this crucial point in his career and life. I'm not saying family isn't enough, but a young black kid in a professional sport with the history he's had, more responsibility has to be taken from here on out. Having a firearm in itself is a huge responsibility. Forgetting it's around your pro basketball playing African American child is something that simply can't happen. Whoever his friends are, or whoever is the cause of marijuana being allegedly present, has to care more for their friend to not put him in a situation like that. And lastly, Kevin has to grow up. No matter what happens, if you want to play in the league, you can't lose your cool and allegedly throw things at your boss, if that happened. They are obviously trying to find a reason to get you out the door. Don't give them one. And who knows, maybe there was good explanation for moving his locker, like some say because of social distancing and wanting to spread players out. They still should have been a more upstanding organization and let him know first. All in all, Kevin is a good player. That's shown he can play on that level. But if he doesn't get himself together first, then the people around him, and take care of business on the floor, he'll be a castaway like they've done so many before him. Remember, the game doesn't stop for any one player. Life doesn't stop either. So get it together, or for these reasons, he'll be out of the league. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.
I don't care if you're the first man, 12th man. You can't move my locker without calling me and be like, hey, we're going to move your stuff. That would be disrespectful.
Also, visit stuntedgrowth3.com right now. We have some new winter merch for all your fashion needs. We have the Legends Edition package, the Championship Edition, and much more to satisfy your winter fashion. Once again, visit stuntedgrowth3.com right now. Please like and subscribe to this video for more content. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, man. Let's get it.